Gamers, what's going on? It's your boy Casual Chris here, and I'm back with another YouTube video. I don't normally make these, but we'll make these in the way that I'm doing right now. We clip up it's stream clips, but right now is a very important time for us Nintendo fans. We're right on the cusp of Switch 2. What I wanted to talk about on Switch 2 is I want to do some predictions. Let's do some bro. Everybody's doing predictions. I'm like, damn. I kind of honestly, me too. We should do some predictions. We're all gonna be saying the same shit, but like, you know, it's still fun to talk about, right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it. So first off, I think, you know, right off the bat, what we're actually gonna see is Mario Kart 9, like full blowout Mario Kart 9. We've already seen it. I mean, we've already seen it, but I don't think like they haven't shown us the gimmicks. People were picking out the 24 kart thing. It's like, right, like they showed us like all of the characters that like you would expect in Mario Kart. So if you go through that trailer, you can see every character that you would just expect to be in Mario Kart. And like we don't have any room for like all the babies are there, right? Pauline's there. It's like, yeah, we're good on that, right? So now it's just like the B-list characters. Like, let's see who else gets in this game. For me, I'm hoping for brand new tracks. Like all new tracks. Like don't even bring back old tracks. I just want all brand new tracks. Now the Nintendo Kart part of things, I'm not too sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind them still doing some Nintendo stuff, but I mean, at least we know it's Mario Kart first and foremost. And to me, I mean, that's important to me. I'd prefer Mario Kart to just be Mario Kart with some Nintendo stuff in it instead of being Nintendo Kart instead of Mario Kart, right? Speaking of Mario, we're gonna get the new 3D Mario game. I'm sure they've been working. Odyssey was like how long ago? Dude, Odyssey came out in 2017. We're in 2025. There's going to be a new 3D Mario game. And not only that, Bowser's Fury was probably a little test run to see how people would like it, see how people, if they even would care for like an open world 3D Mario game. I mean, that's kind of what we're gonna get, I think we're gonna be able to walk or run or do whatever. Maybe we're gonna have maybe Mario's gonna have some kind of new companion where you can like, because we had Plessie in Bowser's Fury. So maybe we're gonna have something that allows us to traverse the world even faster than just Mario on foot, but then you can also just run on foot as well. But I think that's gonna allow for really awesome and fun 3D Mario stuff. Like, I mean, I'm there day one. We're streaming that day one. So I mean, I think that game's probably gonna blow our freaking minds when we see it, right? Like that's probably what's gonna happen. And another prediction here, I think we're gonna see some random game. I don't know what it could be. Not too sure what it could be. Right? It could be like Kid Icarus Uprising for all we know. We're gonna see some random game that's like alluding to the mouse mode or like using the mouse mode. They're gonna be like, oh, so you can turn your Joy-Con over and like you can use it as a mouse. And then here's a game that would do that. And that game is also gonna be launched with Mario Kart 9 for sure. I don't think 3D Mario will be at launch, by the way. That's probably holiday with Pokemon. They drop Mario and Pokemon together all the time. They dropped Smash Brothers and Pokemon before. Like they right? So that doesn't matter if they got two big boys like that, like back there. But yeah, I think they'll probably show maybe even more than one game. Maybe they'll show off some old games that could use the mouse mode. Maybe they'll show off some bullshit like Mario Maker 2 and be like, oh yeah, look how much easier it is to make stuff with that. Another game that I think we may see is Kirby. I think we might see Kirby, and this could go in multiple directions. I think we can see a brand new pretty Kirby game from, you know, normal HAL, and, you know, it's gonna look cool. Hopefully it has some brand new amazing gimmick that we haven't really seen before with Kirby, I guess. I mean, Forgotten Land was pretty cool, but it was just a Kirby game in 3D. Like, to me, it was just Kirby game in 3D. I mean, I really liked the powers and stuff, but like, still. I'm expecting to see 3D Kirby game. It's been 3 years since Forgotten Land. So, I mean, they're working on something. I mean, there was that rumor about Planet Robot getting remade and put on Switch. But we just had a Switch Direct that didn't have that. So, I mean, could it exist? I think it could, but will we see it? Maybe not. I think the other possibility for Kirby is, now bear with me guys, Sakurai is making a Kirby game. So Sakurai said he was been working on the game since 2002. 2022, 2022. I mean, obviously, there's no specifics, but the fact that he mentioned the game probably means that it may not be Smash Brothers. So the mention that he was working on it at all, the fact that he was working on it at all, I mean, I don't recall if there's a time where he alluded to working on the game and then it ended up being Smash Bros. Maybe there was a time like that, but yeah. And I mean, he's coming up on retirement. I mean, he's coming up on retirement. I feel like if he pulls up at Nintendo, he's like, "Yo, I want to make a Kirby game." They're gonna let him make a Kirby game, and like getting another one last Sakurai Kirby game in his like career as a developer would be pretty sick. So I mean, that is a possibility, a crazy possibility I'm throwing out there. I mean, but it's Switch 2. We're going all off the walls. Crazy stuff is happening. Another game that I think would probably get butts in seats and Switches sold is a new Animal Crossing game. People are done with Horizon. I mean, bro, I haven't seen anybody talk about Horizon since COVID. People kind of played Animal Crossing incorrectly. I'm not an Animal Crossing guy, but I know that they played it incorrectly. So I think dropping Animal Crossing early, maybe like early next year, like maybe like spring 2026, they drop Animal Crossing. And like that, I think that'll give them a big push because Animal Crossing is their second best-selling game on Switch right now. So, I mean, getting a new one out and they got to do something insane with Animal Crossing as well if they want to do that. The only thing against Animal Crossing showing up is the fact that the Mario Kart team is the Animal Crossing team and they're working on Mario Kart 9. That being said, I think Mario Kart 9 has been done since Deluxe was out. Since a couple of years after Deluxe was out, and then they were like, oh, you know what, Neil? Well, if Mario Kart is selling this much, we should just keep making more courses for it. And I think that's what they did. And they went back and they just made more courses, and then that's where we are. They could have been cooking up Animal Crossing at the same time. They can even tease it. I mean, remember, New Horizons was teased at the end of a Smash trailer. So, they can do anything. Moving on, I think Nintendo's going to take some time and perhaps talk about Nintendo Switch Online. And there have been many rumors, rumblings, and even there's SKUs for a GameCube-looking controller coming out in the future. So I think what we could see is GameCube on NSO. And we all know what that means. Sunshine, Melee, Luigi's Mansion, F-Zero GX, right? Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, right? The list goes on of all of these big GameCube games that people would love on Switch. But I also don't think GameCube would be the only one they show. I think they could drop DS as well. I think they can be like, yeah, we got GameCube and that's the big hype, and then they just go DS. Or maybe they'll flip it around. DS first and then GameCube. They'll show DS first and then they'll be like, oh, but check this out, and it's GameCube. And they show Melee or some bullshit, right? That would be incredible. And if that happens, GameCube, DS, I'm buying that frame one. I'm part of the problem, guys. I think if they do that, I think they might even have a tier above the expansion pass, which would be really scummy. And I'm telling you right now, I'm buying into it. I'm buying it. If you want to blame somebody, blame me. Okay, it will be blame me. So now let's talk about third-party games. I think there's going to be a plethora of third-party games. We might get a sizzle reel, maybe, right? Because it's a direct style. It's not going to be like the Switch presentation where people are walking out on stage and saying shit. I do think we'll probably get a sizzle reel. I think we can see stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was rumored for a while that it's going to be apparently they even showed that on Switch 2 behind closed doors somewhere. I think that is a lock that's happening. I think we're going to see Elden Ring. That'll be huge on Switch. Street Fighter, I think we can see. Sparking Zero. Sparking, Dragon Ball getting Dragon. I'm a Dragon Ball guy. Dragon Ball getting Dragon Ball on Switch 2 would be pretty smart. I think we're probably going to see Halo. Halo has been rumored for Switch for 5 years. And I think it was supposed to be on some kind of Switch Pro that didn't happen, and now we're here on Switch 2, and Microsoft they're licensing their stuff. Like they put Halo on PC. They're giving out their IPs to different consoles. I think they're learning that like maybe they can't just have their IP on one system anymore. And you know who else is doing that? Sony. The last Nintendo Direct, we literally saw 2 PlayStation games, Panda the Pawn and Everybody Loves Golf. These were PlayStation exclusives, and now they're not because they got rid of their Japan studio. So those guys are now they're out. They're just doing shit now. You know what else was a Japan studio developed game? Gravity Rush. The possibility of Gravity Rush showing up on Switch 2 is not zero. And you guys already know, I will do backflips if that happens. And I mean, I can't be here on talking about third parties without the elephant in the room. Kingdom Hearts on Switch 2. Native ports for Kingdom Hearts on Switch 2. That's what we need. Why weren't they even on Switch 1? I mean, bro, these are PS2 games, bro. Square was just being lazy. That's really what it was. But I think Switch 2, we're gonna see that change. I also think Kingdom Hearts 4 will be on Switch 2. More on that some other time. And actually, while we're talking about games coming to Switch 2, after the recent Direct, we learned about something called Switch 2 Edition games. Not officially, but technically officially. This is on Nintendo's website where they were talking about sharing the virtual game cartridges. And now I feel a lot of people are fearful about this, and so was I, until I thought about it. And I was like, wait a minute, on PS5, I own a PS4 version of my PS5 game. And you just buy one copy of that game and you get both of those versions, right? So if they're gonna drop a game on Switch 2, but it's also on Switch 1, like if they drop it, so like a game that they announced, Rhythm Heaven, right? This probably doesn't, like, the graphics don't even matter in that game. But there might be a Switch 2 version of Rhythm Heaven when that game comes out, and also a Switch 1 version. But if you buy the Switch 2 version, you're probably still gonna get the Switch 1 version as well. It's just gonna run a little differently. That's how they do it on PlayStation, and I think that's exactly how it's gonna be here. And that's why they're called like Switch 2 Edition games. That being said, I think we can see older games, something like a Breath of the Wild. I think there was a rumor about Breath of the Wild running on Switch 2 and being like flawless on Switch 2. So I think we can see something like that. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom 100%. They're gonna get those on Switch 2. It's like they're gonna get Switch 2 editions of that. If we're gonna have to pay for those upgrades, hopefully it's just $10 like Sony does. Sony does like $10 upgrades if you already own the game. Free would be the awesome thing, right? Would like it just be free because we bought the game? So that would be awesome. But the world we live in. Other games like Metroid Prime 4, I think they're going to have a Switch 1 and Switch 2 version, and that'll probably be our main example. And I think once we see it, and once people realize, oh, it's just like PlayStation. I mean, I know Nintendo fans don't have PS5, so like they don't understand that. But I think it's not as bad as it probably seems. They're not gonna resell you these old ass Switch games. Like, I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, because just backwards compatible and stuff like it doesn't make much sense. And another game, Xenoblade X. Xenoblade X, we know, has a 60 FPS patch in it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a Switch 2 version, like at launch, there's just a Switch 2 edition that you can either upgrade to or whatever. It's like, or you get for free or whatever. And then while the game runs at 60 FPS at like a higher resolution, and that'll be that. Now we're getting to the end of this. I got 2 more games coming up. Kind of insane, but we're at Switch 2. I think they gotta go insane. So let's start with the first one. Let's talk about Zelda. I'm not much of a big Zelda fan, but I am still interested in what they do. Because sometimes they can just make a game that just looks cool, and I'm like, damn, I want to play that, right? Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, oh damn, I want to play that. I'm gonna play it. So I played it and I loved it. It was great. But I'm not a Zelda fan specifically. However, I think they can tease the next big 3D Zelda game. And people are gonna say, man, it's too soon, or whatever, or this or that. Guys, they're gonna tease you the game. You're not gonna see it for another 7 years, but they can still they can still tease it. They can still do that. Breath of the Wild, we saw that back in 2013. 2013, bro. That game didn't drop till 2017. Tears of the Kingdom. When did they show that? That was the same year as Banjo and and Hero in Smash Brothers. So that was 2019. 2019, that game didn't drop until 2023. I think it's possible they pull up and they end on a Zelda tease. It probably won't be anything Breath of the Wild related. I kind of hope it's not anything Breath of the Wild related, right? No Breath of the Wild 3 or nothing like that, right? Like no one more bonus on that. just a new direction. Maybe go back to the old direction. I don't know. Probably not. Don't do that either. But they just do something with Zelda. Anyway, I think we could see a teaser. And guys, I wouldn't be me if I don't mention this right here at the end of this video. I think they can end on one more thing. Even if it's not coming out this year, I can see them announcing Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Switch 2. I know I mentioned earlier that like maybe Sakurai is working on a game, and it could be Kirby, but it could be Smash Brothers. And even if Sakurai is working on Kirby, he doesn't have to work on Smash Brothers. They could probably just have Bandai do that shit too. But here's a specific thing. I don't think it will be a deluxe port. For a while, I was thinking about that until we learned that the Switch 2 was officially backwards compatible. I was like, oh yeah, I think deluxe, like, you know, Ultimate Deluxe would be very, very logical. I think that's what they're gonna do. Absolutely not. Not anymore. I've changed my ways. Because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, you can play Ultimate. You can always play Ultimate. There's no reason for them to do a Ultimate Deluxe. So it's going to be a new game. And I think they can tease this new game. It's not coming out it wouldn't come out this year. There's no chance. There's no chance Smash Bros. Gets announced and released this year. That's not happening. However, I can see like maybe they tease that character. Like maybe we get a very similar thing with like Mario and like Link, and then like the Smash Bros logo, and it says 2026, and like maybe you hear like, because last time we heard a very faint version of like the Ultimate theme, like the yeah, like that we can probably get something like that again, but I don't know. I don't know how would they do it this time. I'm not sure, because that Inkling trailer was pretty sick. I mean, if you were there, like, you had to be there. Yes, you had to be there for that. But yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised. I will be surprised, but I'm not gonna be too surprised if they drop Smash Brothers. It's Switch 2. Eyes are on them. They're gonna want to go bang, 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 like guns blazing, right? They're gonna drop the bangs. I think. Who's a bigger banger they got than Smash Brothers? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching to the end of this video. I am going to be live right here on YouTube and Twitch with the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I will be there bright and early. It's going to be a fun time. I think we should see if my predictions came true. I'll be glad to see you guys all there. Yeah, I mean, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you made it. If you made it this far, you might as well, right? But if you didn't make it this far, then don't worry about it, right? Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.